Hello everyone, and I am now live on this channel with a very special boy and a very special rank 1 INI-CET July 2021, Amartya Sen. So Amartya is a DAMS Foundation student from Kolkata, and then he followed it up with a test and discussion. We met him on the DAMS Daily YouTube channel in the past with the quiz as well, and he was one of the clinical quiz winners as well. So Amartya, without wasting any time, let me get Amartya on board. Amartya, how are you feeling today? Top of the world?
Yeah, I'm like, it's inexplicable, I would say. I'm not really sure what to feel. I mean, these are really cliche responses which you all say. But I would say I'm relieved that this, vicious circle is over of preparing and all. So I'm finally, going to move ahead.
Finally, life goes beyond the MCQ exams into truly pursuing your residency now. So,
Exactly.
Amartya, tell me, like, how believable it was to look at rank 1 when you saw the rank 1, and like, how did you get it checked by, people or maybe family, and, what was it all about?
Yeah, rank 1 is a bit too much, I think. It is a bit too much. Like, nobody expects a rank 1, let's be honest. Nobody. I was sure, like, I would, like, somewhat get a decent rank, I would say. Like, a doable rank, which will, sort of fetch me a seat. But rank 1 is a bit too much, I would say. So, like, yeah, definitely I checked, a couple of times. Everybody would do that. And I'm still a bit scared. I'm like, okay, I hope this is all right. Like, it's my number only. Like, otherwise it will really go down bad. So yeah, okay. So definitely it's literally, uh, it's like a, I don't know, fairy tale, I would say. Definitely it's
Overwhelming,
beyond.
actually. It's overwhelming,
Yeah,
actually.
very overwhelming, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Amartya, tell us about your DAMS journey. You've been a DAMS foundation student, and then you followed it up with a test and discussion. How
Mm-hmm.
was your experience with DAMS? And you have been an active part of various quiz programs that we conduct, and I think one of them, I vividly recall interacting with you on this very
Mm-hmm.
channel itself. So,
Yes, sir.
tell us about your DAMS experience in total.
Okay, so I joined the DAMS foundation course when I was in my pre-final year, like we call it third MB part one, the IENT wala year. Okay, so after that, we would have our regular offline classes as scheduled in our Kolkata center, and overall, definitely, the notes were really crisp, very crisp to be honest, and they're ideal for revision. I would say they're definitely ideal for revision. Covers the basics. Definitely, it has got all the ingredients, to make them really doable before the exams. And after that, the tests following it up, the test and discussions. The papers were really, they were sent by the faculty themselves, so that's a really big plus because, there are questions which are, standard, and they are expected to be repeated. So the questions, could, just, give you an insight into what the real situation might be like. So they were very authentic, I would say. The questions are authentic. So the questions, I had no complaints absolutely with the question paper and all. And the discussion videos were also very helpful after that. So overall, it was a really pleasant experience, I would say.
So, I wanted to know from you, is Amartya, like, were you the kind of student, like, when you started attending in the pre-final year, like,
Yeah.
did you come to the classroom with an intent that, okay, one day I will be at a rank 1, or like, what was your expectation out of the classroom program when you joined it, first of all, and were we able to meet up to your expectations?
So, well, I would say I joined the classroom course because, I wanted to do well in my PG exams, and I just wanted to, get things done as quickly as possible. So with that, and I was expecting a decent rank overall in my. I just wanted a surgery seat. That's all. That's all my intention was. Okay. So, and apart from that, definitely, like I would say, honestly speaking, I'm a type A personality. I'm a complete type A person. Okay, like it's just my thing. Okay, I'm not over ambitious and all, but I take things very seriously. Whatever I do, I make sure that's perfect. So that's that. And with as the days went by, like the class, the classes were very comfortable, to be honest, and the material, piled up and up. I'll be honest, I'm not much of a notes taker. So I don't really write much, but I listen in the class properly. I listen to what the teacher's explaining. I listen to the concepts very, very well. So when that's going on, my attention is over there. Okay. And then I just write down which I feel which will be important for me. So with that, I kept my notes as small, as less as possible. So that would, later on help me in revising very quickly. So, and definitely, I mean, the notes cover all the basics, absolutely, to which you should be learning in MBBS. Either way, the notes just revamp things up again. They sort of refresh it completely, so that before the exam you can just go through them and you won't miss the important stuff. You won't miss the important stuff. You won't it's not about doing hi-fi things all the time. It's never about that. It's never about knowing obscure rare things. It's never about that. It's about the basics and then applying the basics. It's just taking it a step further. So the integration, I think, DAMS did really well, and it really helped me, definitely.
So, Amartya, if I ask you today, like when you were in the classroom initially in your third year, you were the kind of person with 100% attention to the teacher, with no WhatsApp in between, no kind of disturbance. Like, do you think that is what helps you become the winner that you are very focused on the task at hand?
I mean, if I was focused in phases, whenever there was a situation which I don't really know or don't really have a clue about, at that point of time, I would be very focused. Okay? Whenever that part comes, I'm very focused. I'm not listening to anything else. I'm just listening to that with my mind fresh. Apart from that, I'm not that much of a rigid kind of person. I do my fair share of time wasting and all, and chatting with my friends and all when we are sitting in the class. It's normal. So, but definitely when the important stuff comes up, I'm definitely all ears. Okay.
And do you think, that starting early gave you that comfort that you did not have to, aggressively do everything in the end, like because you had that comfort of starting in the third year itself?
Yeah, definitely. I would rather say we most of the time we are always thinking about इसके बाद क्या करेंगे, PG करना है, ये करेंगे, ये करना है, वो करना है. Like, don't think about that all the time. I mean, definitely it's a very important milestone. Society has sort of molded it to be like that, because when nowadays the PG is mandatory, although we are all doctors, that shouldn't really matter much, but due to the current scenario and all, so it has become somewhat of, I don't know, like it's really taken the sheen of MBBS, which it should not really have, because we are all doctors now and we should really respect that. But nonetheless, so don't really think about the PG exams per se. Just when you're in MBBS, I tell it repeatedly, just focus on what's at hand. Just focus on your subjects. Just focus on what's at hand. Don't just rush. Take small steps. Like each and every event is a stepping stone. Just go sequentially. Don't hurry. There's no hurry. So focus on the subjects at hand. Focus on focus on whatever is being taught in your colleges and all. And definitely to add to that, DAMS has also, again, it has been a brilliant source of revision. I think it has summed everything up together, in one particular notebook, for instance, or in one particular PDF. And it has given a perfect overview of the entire thing. So, attending your, clinical postings and focusing on your, professional exams, and to add to that, you have DAMS notes, and so if you combine all of them together, like it really gives you a sort of a comprehensive picture. I would say, it's very compact, it's very solid. There are no leaks in it, absolutely. So that you take forward as you go, as you cross each and every step. Ultimately, in the internship, you just have to revise. Like it's all there. You don't have to add new content or not. Yeah, you might add new content. Definitely, you definitely have to add, but the core is strong by the time you reach internship. So you don't have to just rush and what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, how am I going to ace everything. It's not possible. So you already have a backbone. You have a very strong backbone by the time you reach internship, and I think that's a very, very important part.
Do you think those the concepts that you learned in the DAMS classes and during the foundation years and T&Ds and everything, did they also help you in your professional exams or the clinical life in particular as well? Because a lot of the teachings were a lot patient-centric in our classes.
Yes, definitely. I mean, they're very precise. I would say the thing about DAMS is that the notes are really precise. I mean, there is not there's not everything in it. And there is honestly, there is no need to know everything as well. You just have to know what you need, to be a clinician per se. So whatever I learned in my college during my MBBS years, and to add to that, the DAMS notes, just a very precise overview of everything. So those two, added up, and they really helped me in my professional exams. Definitely before the exams, when the content is very vast and all we have on our minds, like it's just we have to pass first. So I mean, before that, if you read the notes, I mean, it really does a lot of the job. It really covers a lot, and definitely I did use the medicine notes before my final MBBS examinations, and also all the other notes as much as possible, sort of to bridge the gaps which I might have had. So definitely they have helped me, during my MBBS career as well, and definitely here.
And Amartya, it is always my vision in DAMS is to make sure that we give you concise topics, because what we have seen is that भाई लंबा करके तो बताना बहुत आसान है, लेकिन वो बताना कि वो सबसे जरूरी क्या है is the art of teaching actually. So that is what we keep working on it. So I'm so happy that you found our notes and classes concise and to the point, useful for both professional as well as competitive exams. And I want to now use this opportunity that we are sitting with the rank 1, which is an awesome rank. And I think the only one this year would be rank 1 is you in INI-CET, because this year we are looking at a very delayed kind of cycles. So Amartya, tell us about how many did you attempt in this year's INI-CET exam?
So I attempted 198 to 199. I'm not really sure. Most likely it was 198. Okay.
So you were aggressive in the paper. And
yes.
How, tell us something about the exam. Like, what was the exam like? Was this a fair mix of clinical and one-liners, or it was like more one-liners than you expected to be in a Central Institute exam?
I mean, first of all, right off the bat, the paper was not easy. Okay, as a lot of people might have said, it was not easy at all. I mean, I really found it moderate to maybe slightly difficult. Okay, so first of all that. Secondly, the direct one-liners, I would say, maybe 5 to 6 questions more than what's usually there in a normal INI-CET paper. And they covered the basics. Few questions, like maybe 30 to 40 questions, they were very basic and literally one-liners. A few others might be, I don't know, 3 or 4 lines with a bit of a clinical case scenario mixed in that. And rest would be completely, around 20 odd questions would be completely new questions, which honestly you don't have any clue about. So it was a mixed bag, maybe a bit more inclined towards one-liners, but overall it was not that easy. It was not direct. It was definitely not direct as much as people said it was. So, and the options were really confusing. The topics were well known, definitely. The topics were well known, but the options were very close. Usually what's there in a normal INI-CET paper. So I would say maybe close to the November paper, but a bit more factual, I would say. Definitely.
So I think, this is the uniform response that we have gotten from all the high achievers, that, the paper on the first look was easy, but when you deeply analyze, it was like moderately tough. You could not call it an easy paper because of the various tones to the exam. Any hints on subject-wise representation in the paper for future aspirants?
I don't really think, speculating this would help much, because AIIMS is very unpredictable when it comes to this, because this time there were 26 questions from OBGY, if I'm correct. And there were just, I don't know, 7 questions maybe from core pediatrics, 7 to 6, which is very less compared to. And FSM, it was 13 questions, I would say. I'm not sure, more or less 13. So that's never seen in an AIIMS paper. So it's nowadays we have to realize that it's just not AIIMS which is making the paper. It's a mixture of the 3 institutes, or maybe 4 institutes, which is, that are involved in making the paper. So I would say with the past INI-CET and this one, we will slowly, get to understand how, what exactly the subject representation is. So we will be able to target the November INI-CET with, more precision on that. But overall, I would say definitely the clinical, more than, OBGY is definitely, it consumed a massive chunk, and your paraclinical, subjects like pharma and pathology, they were important, very important. And also anatomy. I was surprised. There were lots of questions from anatomy, more than 10, I would say. So definitely they did focus on the pre and the paraclinical subjects this time a lot, in fact. So almost that contributed to about 40% of the paper. So that's huge. And after that,
So
medicine was
what my
integrated.
understanding here is that they have represented all subjects this time in INI-CET.
Yes.
Like they have not even ignored a small subject like forensic or
Definitely.
dermatology, and they kind of represented
Definitely.
everything in the paper.
Also,
Do
they
you
have
think
integrated things.
that?
That's the thing, main thing. They have integrated things. That is the main thing. So you can't really, put one question in one particular bracket, like this is just belonging to this subject and this is not belonging to that subject. No, it's very, I would say, broad. The representation is very diverse, I would say. So it's very well integrated.
Do you think your DAMS classes, your foundation classes, TND classes prepared you for the kind of questions that were there in the exam?
Definitely. The DAMS TND papers, they were well integrated. I'd say they were definitely well clinically oriented, relevant questions, no unnecessary facts. So definitely, the papers were really, really, really standard, and it was really, helpful to look at the discussion videos after that. So definitely, the integration was there, and the questions were on point.
Another thing that I observed, and I want your comment because you are the best person today to tell us because you are the rank one in this paper, is that I thought that there was a role of previous papers also, and on eMedico's app we have previous paper video discussions. And do you think that in this particular paper there were like a few repeats from previous topics and they could have been vital?
Definitely.
Anything you want to tell about?
Definitely. I mean, as usual, it's INI-CET and like topics are repeated as usual. That goes without saying. It's a tradition which has been followed for like many years. So yeah, definitely the INI-CET recall paper of November 2020. Yeah, from that particular paper, I would say at least to my knowledge, maybe at least 10 topics were directly repeated. But with a twist. So, for example, I would say like in November INI-CET 2020, this particular, I guess anterior ethmoidal nerve block was shown in a picture, and this time they gave the nasociliary nerve block, and that was actually covered by Dr. Deepak Arora's like entire, I would say, DBT review and also INI-CET TND review. Yeah. So definitely a role of past papers. I would say absolutely yes. And more than, I will not say the questions were directly repeated. I would say the topics were repeated more than that. So I would say a healthy amount of like 40 to 45 questions were from previous topics, definitely. And that's pretty huge.
Which is a big number actually.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think it's more than like looking at the previous papers and discussions. It is more important not to miss them. Like if you miss them, you are doing yourself a disservice because everybody else would be looking at them. It's very important.
Exactly.
Every serious candidate would be analyzing them. Like I'm sure you would have.
Yeah, definitely. 3 days before the exam, I was just solving the past 2 papers, nothing else. And the most importantly, if possible, I would say something which is very, very realistic. Just do the most recent paper, I would say. If because it's very easy to say that complete all these 3 papers and all. So it's not that easy. It's a very time consuming process because you are not just solving a paper, you are actually critically analyzing it at the same time. So I would say just do the immediately. I would say just the previous ones. Just the I would say, so if you are going for a 2021 November INI-CET, definitely do go for this July INI-CET version and maybe just one more at the INI-CET 2020 November as well. And apart from that, when it comes to the other institutes, I'm not really sure how much will benefit out of that, but just do one JIPMER paper or maybe one PGI paper, but that's all. Because as the time goes, those papers will become irrelevant because now it's completely different. It's INI-CET and we don't really know what exactly might come. But definitely go for the AIIMS papers. Then don't miss out on them. Okay.
No, what I observed was that in a classical AIIMS paper, they would have questions on trauma, emergency, and this time they had like some things like pharma and some little bit style of JIPMER also was thrown into
JIPMER,
the paper.
exactly, absolutely. Some random bizarre questions from PubMed. I literally saw that one question.
So that is a JIPMER signature actually. That is not the AIIMS style.
No, not really. In fact, I would say AIIMS. The influence of JIPMER and PGI as well, especially questions from PSM. Like none of those questions are asked in a traditional AIIMS paper. Like one question was regarding reorder factor. Nobody has even heard of it. So these bizarre questions are definitely from PGI or JIPMER, not from AIIMS.
Yeah. So that is why I also recommended before the exam also that look at least 1 year papers of AIIMS PGI JIPMER and last INI-CET to get a hang of it.
Absolutely,
Did
that's to be done.
did you use some revision courses that are there in DAMS, like the DAMS DVT and
Yeah,
the booklet that comes with it?
I think that was included in my course only. So yeah, I definitely used
Yes,
that.
yes, yes, yes. So how was your experience with the revision program DVT?
It's very good. I would say definitely that helped me revise a lot, because it's not possible like just a few days before the exam to just go through your entire notes. I mean, it's not possible. It's humanly not possible. So the high stuff's there. Okay, the important topics are all there in the DVT. Just go through it once before your exams. Definitely go through it, because it also helps you to go through the high topics just at one go, literally in one particular PDF or maybe a booklet. So definitely DVT is to be done maybe like just a month before your exam. Definitely focus on these high revision sources.
Okay. And how was your experience with the grant tests and the class test, subject-wise test,
So
and
definitely, sir,
CBT?
yeah, definitely. I mean, the grand tests, the questions were again. What is unique about DAMS is that the questions are indeed made by the faculty themselves. So the questions are very authentic. No unnecessary or like irrelevant questions are asked here. So the standard is definitely doable, I would say, and that is also very important because it gives you a confidence boost. After you solve the questions and finally you're seeing you're getting things correct, it really helps. If we solely consider the tests, they're absolutely perfect. I would say the questions are really, really relevant, and ultimately, sit for the finals.
And Amartya, if I may ask you now, like
Yeah.
what makes you the high achiever that you are? Like, how do you keep yourself motivated?
Okay. I mean, I'm laid back when there is no pressure, but I mean, I don't know. There is this constant urge inside me, to just keep going. I mean, I can't really put it to words, Like I come from a suburb in Kolkata, from a few kilometers away from Kolkata. Okay, so like during my school days, I was a decent student, I would say, yeah, definitely. But I was never into this, entire showbiz back then when during my UG days. Okay, so I got a very decent rank in WBJE, and I got the best institute of my state. But I was never into these, top 10 ranks or something like that. So I was like, okay, let's take things let's take things a notch further. So let's do it. What I mean, what's the issue? We can definitely, if you put your mind to it, you can definitely achieve it. I mean, it's easier said than done. It's very, very difficult. It's really easier said than done. And at times, it's definitely very difficult to keep your calm, retain your motivation. It's very difficult. But again, life goes on. You have to keep pushing. There is no other alternative. Like you have to keep pushing. That's a very harsh truth, but nothing to be done. You take breaks, but again, then you're back at it. That's how it's actually pretty unfortunate, because life shouldn't be like that ideally. But in this modern day world, like with this cutthroat competition and all, it's honestly, you have to keep pushing. That's a sad reality.
In addition to the competition, this time we had another, factor in the
Postponement.
screen, COVID. How did you manage this entire year of, tension in the exams, tension around
Yeah.
COVID,
So,
so much happened?
first up, sir, I'm from Medical College, Kolkata. Like I did my internship there. Okay, it ended in May this year. I mean, in March this year, and my college was the state nodal center for COVID. Okay, it was a state nodal center for COVID, and so I had to juggle between COVID and non-COVID in my college. And I did not skip my internship at all. I sincerely did my internship. Like my seniors and my friends, they will tell that I did not skip internship at all, and I was really invested in my work. Whenever I was on duty, I was very invested in my work. So apart from that, definitely, being in a PP for like 6 hours constantly, it was really hectic. And after the duties, it was impossible to study. It was not humanly possible to study. So you could study only when you sort of might have a break. You might have a layoff. Only then you could study. And this year, especially with all the postponements going on, like AIIMS, NEET getting postponed, then INI-CET getting postponed twice. I mean, was very, very difficult. Let me be honest. It was very, very difficult. It was literally hell, to be honest, because it was more about the uncertainty of things, because we didn't really know what is going to happen, because COVID is not predictable at all, right? So with that, with the dates being altered again and again, it was really a mess. So honestly, after the last postponement, I took a few days off. I just left everything. I just left everything, quit social media for a while. I was just with my friends only. And after that, the date usually came, and after that, I just chalked out a very quick plan. Just revised all the subjects from notes from whatever resources I have very quickly, and then solved the past few papers in the last 4 days. And with that, I just went to the exam. That's all.
Was it like were there any periods during the last 2 years where you felt कि नहीं हो पाएगा यार ये too much हो गया stress? Like I'm sure there would have been periods where you like overwhelming हो गया था because of the COVID, wards,
Yeah, definitely.
postponement. बहुत कुछ हो गया इस बार यार.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, life moves ahead of PG at this point of time, right? Life definitely doesn't revolve around your post graduation entrance at these junctures. So it's very difficult, just keep focus on one particular thing. It's more about what's gonna happen, like what's the use. I mean, what's like the world suffering and all, and whatever philosophical shenanigans comes to your mind. So it's very difficult to keep calm. But again, like what's immediately at hand, you need to focus on that. And that was this definitely. That was take things at a step by step. Focus on what's at hand, what's coming next. So just focus on that, and don't always think about what's gonna happen like 10 years from now. Don't just think about that. It will really frighten you. So just focus on what's at hand and just keep on crossing one milestone after another, and eventually you will find freedom, I would say. And yeah, I might have had
Ultimately, I'm sure you would.
momentarily though. Yeah.
I think Amartya has a poetic side to him, which we will get to know gradually. Uh, and you told us that you wanted to pursue surgery. Tell us more about it. Like, what is your dream branch, and what do you want to become?
I want to be a neurosurgeon, but again, it's easier to say, lofty stuff like that. I want to be a neurosurgeon and do stuff like that. It's not. It's very difficult. I know that. So I have to first of all get in touch with my seniors, with my professors with my teachers from DAMS as well. I will after thorough consultation will decide which branch to take. But definitely it's gonna be surgery, nothing else. Nothing else.
So in AIIMS, I think you have two choices. Either you can take direct surgery or a 6-year
Or
neurosurgery, and
neurosurgery.
it's like always a debate between the two. My personal always suggestion is that if you are unsure, it is always a good idea to take surgery and then
Exactly.
3 years later again decide. If you are very sure, then go for the 6-year program,
Go
because
for it.
6 year is like a committed step. Like in biochemistry, we have that.
Definitely.
So,
Exactly. And
so and it's more poetic also. But like I've seen a lot of neurosurgeon have a creative side to them. So is that something that you thought about, or do you write also? Tell us more about your non-academic side.
I mean, I used to sing. I've been a professional Ravindra Sangeet learner for the past 10 years before my internship. Apart from that, I was in my school band. I listened to a lot of music, maybe compose a few beats on.
You appear to be
Yeah, I
more
tried.
artistically oriented, because when I talk to you, you have a lot of philosophical side to yourself. I think that keeps you calm as well. I think, calm as well and passionate as well. I think that is the balance that you have in between.
I mean, I'm philosophical, but at the same time, I'm a realist as well. Okay, so I would
Both the things, that
say,
balance is
yeah,
required for success.
I would say a moderate blend of optimistic and realist at the same time. Because one thing I don't do is just gloat over things which I've already done. That's something I have heard absolutely. So please, no negativity around me. Definitely no. Because if you fail at one thing, just pick yourself up and try again. I mean, again, these are all cliche lines. These have been said again and again, but it's just the thing with me. That's all.
It's kind of works like. And who are your go-to people when you are down? Like if Amartya is
My
not
mother.
mother.
My mother, definitely. My mother. I mean, she has been with me through thick and thin. Definitely. I mean, whatever I do, definitely she has uh, played a major part in that. And also my father, because I mean he's not at home all the time. He's always busy. So, but definitely I have my mother by my side, and definitely my grandparents. I mean, before they passed away, my grandfather passed away yesterday actually. So
Oh.
I mean, so they were there my family has been a constant source of support for me. Definitely, it has to be my family first. And apart from that, my friends. I mean, definitely, I have a really core group of friends. I mean, I'm friendly with everybody, but I definitely have just a core group of friends, and I mean, the discussion's always positive there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're feeling down, you just open your WhatsApp and you're laughing all of a sudden. So that's it. That's it. How I juggle between two sides.
Do you have your parents around right now, or maybe we can congratulate them? Or they've slept.
Just let me check. Just let me check.
Yes,
One second.
let's check.
Just let me check. I mean, okay. I mean, the door's closed, so they might have just fallen asleep. Okay, like I mean, it was.
Maybe you can check if it is possible. It will be a great opportunity for me to congratulate them at this moment where their son is at the top of the world, rank 1.
Sure. Just once again, just let me check them. Just let me check. Just give me a second.
No problems.
Yeah, just 1 second.
So by the time Amartya joins us back, it is such a pleasure to have him today with us. He's a foundation and a TND student with DAMS, and he's done so well in this exam, so well. Let's see if we can get his parents.
Yeah,
and
I mean, my mother's here. My father's actually busy. He's reading downstairs. Okay, he won't be able to come. Yeah, just 1 second. Let me just. Hello. Yeah. So I think. Yeah. Can you just come here, ma'am? Yeah.
Sir,
yeah, just said, ma'am.
नमस्कार. Congratulations. आपके बच्चे ने बहुत ही अच्छा परफॉर्म किया है.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
कैसा लग रहा है? Rank 1 है बच्चा. I'll ask Deepthi also to join us. Dr. Deepthi, please.
I can't believe मैंने ये मेरा मैंने मुझे क्या बोलूं मैं मुझे कोई मैंने स्पीच मैंने मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा. ये मेरा बेटा है. अब सर आप लोग
I think
कल
she's
मेरा
too
फादर का
overwhelmed.
और कल मेरा फादर का अंक हो गया और आज उसका रिजल्ट आया. एक्चुअली मेरा फादर उसको बहुत मैंने.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, okay. Like, I mean, the thing is that she's a bit overwhelmed. Yeah, like the thing is that, I mean, my grandfather, my grandfather passed away yesterday. Okay, like, I mean, she's only, just caught up with the emotion and all.
We're so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
but I think उनकी blessings आपके साथ हैं अमर्त्या, and बड़ों की blessings से, is definitely how you reach this far in life. And and ma'am, वो आपके लिए Amartya said that his mother is the main source of his positivity, and you've been there for him. So mother's ka contribution, parents ka, elders ka, it is absolutely no match. So all credits to you. Heartiest congratulations, Amartya. We are so proud of you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you
आंटी,
so much.
जस्ट एक रिक्वेस्ट कि अमर्त्या के बारे में कुछ ऐसा बताएं जो
किसी को नहीं
पता हो. कुछ ऐसा बताएं जो आपको लगता है कि किसी को ना पता हो.
What will you say?
And Amartya, it's all live, huh?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
He's actually mama's boy.
Okay, please. Okay.
Great. This is something all mothers.
One weakness. His mom.
This one weakness, yeah, I would say definitely.
That's so nice, and yes, it's so great, and I know mothers feel extreme pride and happiness, or especially जब कोई mama's boy होता है, they don't even ask how proud and happy mothers are.
This is embarrassing, actually. This is first and embarrassing, but okay, I'll take that.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Heartiest congratulations once again to the entire family, and it was completely awesome performance, Amartya. So I thought I would also just jump in and say congratulations.
Surely, ma'am. Surely.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. Okay.
Good night.
No.
Good night, ma'am. Good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Papa is Papa.
Okay,
I want
Papa.
this, Papa.
Papa puts you. Wait later. All right. Bye, ma'am. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. She's a bit vulnerable. Okay.
No problems. I think, it was such
okay.
a wonderful thing. I'll just ask
Yeah.
Deepti to say a few words to you before we wind up today, because I think even Deepti is so excited. She has been waiting to, say a word
Yes,
to you.
so it's an amazing performance, Amartya, and I'm sure you've done a lot of hard work, and you've been topping the the grand test as well, and the clinic, the quizzes that we've had. So it's great, and this time you had a lot many questions from OBGY as well. It was very scoring.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. It was very scoring, and I mean, I think I scored all of them except one. I did make a mistake in that. I mean, AMTSL, I think. I have
that was not properly framed, because three of the options.
But the funny thing is that but the funny thing is that, like, I have already I have always made that particular mistake every time in every single GT, and I have made it in the final paper. So that's a funny part.
So it's absolutely normal. People, even toppers, do that. So I think it hurts him when he says that he did those mistakes in grand test and he did it in the final exam as well. But that's pretty much human, right? We all are going to make some mistakes. But nonetheless, you've topped the exam, and it couldn't have been better than this, right?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So proud of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Amartya, there are like a lot of people who have asked me to ask you, how many did you get right? You attempted 198. How many did you get right?
It's very difficult to say, because only AIIMS knows like what. I would say based on recalls from multiple sites. I mean, mainly from DAMS. I mean, DAMS, I guess, discussed around 160 questions, definitely. Apart from that, from other sources, if I could compile, I would say like 165 plus. Correct.
Okay.
Because this is one thing I want to point out, is that, I mean, there were lots of speculations regarding the number of correct responses and all. Like, people don't. I really feel that people really exaggerate things. Some were saying like 180 correct hona chahiye, ye hona chahiye, wo hona chahiye. Please, it's not the thing. It's never the thing. In a central institute exam, if you get above like 70%, it's done. You're already in the top 10 bracket. You don't even have to worry about it. It's been the same, no matter what that paper might be. It's been the same. It's the same thing again and again. So don't really overhype things. There is no need of that. Just take it as just another paper, and no matter what happens, if you cross the 140 mark, you're already in the top 50 bracket. You're getting a seat wherever you want to be. So so there is no question about that. And anything apart from that, it becomes overkill. So that's all.
So Amartya, any final words of wisdom for future aspirants that you would want to share today, or any motivating line or anything that you would want to give us a message? And before he says, I want to tell something to the students who are listening to us today. What I witnessed today when I talked to Amartya was, I saw a very balanced student, somebody who has his head on the, very grounded, foot on the ground, head held high. And I saw somebody who has a very balanced approach to life as well as to exams. He never let the exam overwhelm him. He had that detachment. He has artistic touch to him. He has a band. I saw a very all-rounded kind of a person. And another thing that a very beautiful I witnessed today was that how much of a family person he is as well. I saw the love and affection with his mother, and I think that well-rounded thing, to me, is even bigger success than a rank 1. Although Amartya, today it is your day of rank 1, but I think you have that well-rounded achievement that you are doing in life. A life well lived is something which I always appreciate. So, Amartya, your stage is all yours. Any messages that you want to give?
Yeah. So first of all, I mean, we are all doctors, okay? Like, there is no alternative to that. Nobody will take your degree away. We are all the same, okay? We all belong to the same average IQ bracket. Nobody's an Einstein here. I mean, definitely there might be some, but I'm definitely not one of them. So what I would like to say is that we are all the same, and it's what you do at the end that matters, okay? Like, these PG ranks, they are merely stepping stones. I mean, let's be honest, nobody would remember my name after like a few days. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about INI-CET rank 1 or maybe a rank 10. Nobody cares about these ranks. These are just collateral. I mean, if you got them, it's good for you. That's all. But what's the main thing is that you have to, sort of clear this barrier and get a seat of your choice. And that will happen eventually. It will happen. It has to happen. At one point in time, it will happen. So, I mean, it's very hard. I mean, it's very difficult to, keep on motivating, right? I mean, I just can't be in any other person's shoe, in any other person's shoes and just, say that. I just do this, do that. It's very conceited of me. So I can't really have anything. I mean, I don't really have a say on what you are and what you should do. Definitely, I would not say that. But what I can say is that each and every single one of you, like, you people are really great. And honestly, I'm pretty sure, like, most of you people will become better doctors than I will be in the future. I might be working for you after a few years, so no issues. So just wait for your time. It will come very, very soon. It will come. Even if you fall multiple times, you will get back. It will take time, maybe days, maybe few months, but you will ultimately get back and life goes on. And ultimately you will achieve, because like there are lots and lots of stories, motivational stories. You get to hear them everywhere and every time. So there is no reason for you to just give up. I mean, yeah, you might, everything is possible. It's very difficult to, put these things into words because they're very sensitive and they're very person specific. But my request to you is that please, just one more time, get up and just go for it. You will do it. I'm pretty sure about you will do it. And that's all. I'm best wishes for all of you, and hope each and every one of you, hope you people are safe. And again, definitely take care of your family, because at the end of the day, that's the most important part. Definitely never abandon your family and take good care of them. Okay. So all the best. And I'm sure I will be seeing you, a lot of you very soon in the future. I definitely might be as my senior, who knows. So I'm really proud of each and every single one of you, and I'm sure people will just ace it in the days to come. Take care and God bless.
So, beautiful words by Amartya. To sum it all up, it is not just about ranks, it is also about the life that you live, it is about family. And Amartya is an example of a person whom I can already see will go places. Because of the balance that he has in his mind, he will go places. And we will hear about Amartya more than just this interview. He said today that, people will forget me after 3-4 days. It is not the truth. Amartya will keep rising and shining, and he will keep making up. He will make his name Amar, is what Dr. Deepthi is saying. So Amartya, heartiest congratulations. We are very, very proud of you. Entire DAMS team here, DAMS team in Kolkata, everybody is so excited about your results. God bless you. We'll make a V-sign together. God bless you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir. Take care. You and Deepthi, ma'am, take care. Good night.
Bye. Bye. God bless you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.